Okay, it's been a while, guys. It's been a week since I posted and about 2 weeks since I filmed. And I've just kind of been down lately, kind of depressed, mentally struggling, and a couple different things. We don't need to go into that, but there's been some internal struggles, and it's just, I took a break from filming, just needed to kind of get away from it for a little bit, but I'm back, and a lot of stuff has actually happened since I've last filmed. So we're gonna do a quick farm update today. First things first, I had posted this on my Instagram and my YouTube, saying that we had a big project coming soon. Well, we actually finished this up yesterday. I just wasn't in the right headspace to film. So, you have a quick overview of what's going on here. We're gonna be doing a lot more chisel plowing this year than we ever have in the past. In the past, we've only ever done our hog manure ground, but we had a change with the co-op and the way we're doing things, so we're gonna be doing 100% of our chisel plowing this year. And we thought that it was just doing too much. It was tearing up the ground a little too much. So we changed it from 12-inch spacing to 16-inch spacing on the shanks. So we took 7 shanks off, and not only will we think it'll just do a little bit better job, but it'll also pull a lot easier, which is good because this thing pulled hard.
Yeah, I don't quite know why. I think I just don't get it quite as fine.
Yeah.
You got a little more structure to your seed bed in the spring.
Yep. I kind of mentioned that before you came in, and then I talked about pulling easier.
I didn't think we had to do it, and you've gone with something we should too. So.
Okay.
So yeah, we need somebody to chisel plow for a couple weeks now. We haven't had to do that in a long time.
No, it's been a very long time. Chisel plowing is the first thing I ever did.
Was it?
Yeah, 8330 and that 3.1.
Okay.
Yeah, at Shendels.
Because your brother, we bought the very nice 4650 two-wheel drive.
Yep.
Now, it was the same chisel plow we put on.
I think it was.
And I thought he'd just be in heaven. And yeah, he was kind of used to 8,000 series. The big thing was that the front end came off the ground, which I grew up with two-wheel drive tractors with the front end floating under a heavy pull.
He didn't like that too much. Yeah, probably not.
He called screaming that he didn't want to do this.
He was pretty young at the time, though.
Yeah.
I mean, late elementary, probably.
Yeah, the very, very nice 4650 we had for a year, I think.
I don't ever remember. I don't think I was ever in it, but I remember like Chris driving by on the road and stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have it very long.
No, because first was 8330 and that 3-point chisel plow that we no longer have, and then the year after that we had that 8100 that we had for like 2 years, and I rolled with that.
Yeah,
same thing. You thought I'd be
happy there.
You thought I'd be in heaven rolling. I thought it was the most boring thing.
Oh, you were bored. That's what it was. Then there was the plowing.
I didn't mind the plowing. That was kind of fun. But
your road thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was an 8220R. We still have that tractor.
How old were you?
5th grade? 6th grade? Yeah, so it was pretty early. I had never really driven a tractor down the road before, and I didn't really understand how brakes worked.
I'm kind of a hands-off teacher, kind of like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of your brother. And yeah, you guys just didn't know how to, because the 8000s, the way we always drive them is slipping them into neutral.
I mean,
maybe when you're going down the road, you want to stop, you slip them into neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't use a clutch.
Nope.
We were kind of told not to use a clutch on them, so.
Yeah, so anyways, Dad, he's in the pickup and he like stops at a field approach before an intersection. He like starts waving me down to stop. I didn't really know how to stop and I was going too fast. I just rolled right through the intersection.
I think it was actually a kind of a major intersection.
It was kind of a major intersection too.
Coming.
Yeah, I learned how to use the brakes after that.
Yeah, after that.
That kind of terrified me.
Yeah, I know now when I teach somebody to drive a tractor that's young, they have to know about
brakes.
Your brother went through the garage that way too. I didn't learn my lesson.
That was more of a clutch thing. He didn't know what a clutch was.
Yeah, you guys just grew up in 8000s where you slip it into neutral and then you either roll to a stop or use the brakes. Chris had never driven anything with a clutch, so he was kind of.
Do you remember when I plowed up the road too? The same spot.
What happened?
Well, the 8. Do we have a 6 and a 7 or a 7 and an 8?
I think a 6 and a 7.
6 and a 7. Anyway, so the 7 bottom plow had cylinder issues on the back. The cylinder set like really fast.
Okay.
Like usually by the time I turned around, it was already dragging. So we start going down the road. I didn't really know what cylinder settling meant at the time. So we start traveling down the road to go to the Pope farm.
Okay.
And I get
all
like
the same area then.
Yeah, same. It was the same because we were leaving our old place.
Farm. Yeah.
And Chris is behind me, and I made a quarter mile down the road, and the thing settled, and I was plowing up the gravel and the
rooster tail.
Rooster tail of gravel.
Well, I did that on tar when I was younger. So.
Wasn't it like fresh tar too?
It was freshly poured tar, and I made a corner too fast, and the rear wheel fell off. You know, they hadn't done the curb yet, or the shoulder.
So there was a big jump there.
Yeah, and there was like 3 bottoms hit the freshly poured tar, and it was like 3 rooster tails.
Oh.
Yeah. If you go fast enough, it'll flip it right over.
Really?
Huh. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
And I did find my problem here. So.
Oh, sweet. Let's go check it out. I'd like to. Somewhere, Mom has a picture of me standing in front of the 8100. I'd like to find that. That was a cool. I didn't like the tractor back then, but kind of one of those things kind of cool to have back.
Now you like an 8410T.
Yeah. But it didn't have auto steer, so I didn't like it.
Yeah. No, you guys are pretty fussy. When I was young, I just was happy to be driving anything. I wish we had that 4640
or 4650.
50 back.
I was never in that one. I have never been in a cab. I've been in a 4440 cab, and I've been in an 8100 cab. I've never been in anything in between.
Yeah, the 55 series, they were nice. They had a little different. They're a little quieter, but they're still at the time I'm thinking of it, they're still a very small cab.
Yeah.
No, we bought our first new John Deere in early 90s.
That was 4555?
4555. I died and went to heaven.
Was that, you go straight from the 7060 Alice to that?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that would be quite a jump, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I always liked the Alice's until we got a Deere. Remember we had that first fall we had a 6-row stock chopper with a disc.
Yep.
And I spent a couple weeks in that. It was the most fun I'd ever had. Yeah, so this motor was making bad noises.
Yep.
I thought it was a bad bearing, but my brother said you maybe look at the electrical.
Was that all like that?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a problem. So hopefully.
So you didn't do it. It was.
When I opened up the cover, that's the way it was.
Oh. Surprised you ran at all.
Yeah, we didn't want to start very good, then it was kind of smelling. And maybe this won't quite cure it, I don't know. Maybe we did do damage. I'm not an electrician. So
I'm not really either.
Well, these wires being hot. We'll find out.
You have a wire nut or anything, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I got a wire nut.
Okay.
Still might have to take it in because I figured it was these wires coming in that got hot, but it was the
ones coming from the motor.
You've never wired a motor, you gotta.
No.
There's a diagram. You put different numbered wires together to get it running in different directions and stuff.
Okay.
Depending on which voltage and. You didn't learn that, and band didn't teach you that?
Not big things like this. We did some 3-phase stuff.
I know just enough to be
dangerous.
That's good news. It's cooked on there. And that good it came off. Okay.
Oh, want to test her quick?
Yeah, here, take that.
I don't know what's supposed to sound like.
I don't know, it still seemed like it took a little longer to start than I thought it would. Maybe Kevin comes down here next time, maybe I guess we'd start but there's still grain on the floor. We can see how the other ones start. See what it's saying. But before, it's better than it was.
What'd you do?
Dangerous changer's job's like rewiring. That's the wire, the red coat. So anyway, yeah. So just get some tape.
Okay, tape that one on.
Tape that up, and then so this is, you gotta pound this.
That lock nut in.
Yeah.
So now that we got that figured out, I went ahead and I winterized both the Highboys and the Big Sprayer. I got a video coming out soon on my year review of the Big Sprayer, the Fast 95 24T. Obviously, the corn head was done in a previous video. And I don't know how much you guys remember from this shed. You've been in it a couple times, but not really. But the back of this shed was just absolutely full of stuff. And over the past couple weeks, we put in these big pallet racks and we kind of organized everything. So now this shed is kind of open, kind of pretty nice to be able to actually store stuff in here. We would have never ever been able to get the corn head in here before, and look at how much room's behind it now. But yeah, so we got this pallet racking. Took a few days to get all this up and move everything around, and it looks like we already have an issue with that right there. But super nice to have some extra storage again to make this shed usable, because I mean, it was, all this stuff was on the floor, and then there's some stuff we took out of here and like got rid of too. But I would say the floor was covered to about here, maybe like right here-ish. Yeah, this whole back part of the shed was just absolutely unusable. And then in this box right here, we have some, they stock Devastators. I don't remember what they're called, but they're the things that go behind the corn head on the ground, and they roll, and they have these like knife edges. And we're replacing our Lankota Stompers. These things are pretty good, but I don't know, they seem to break all the time, and they just flatten the stalks. They don't actually like do anything to destroy them or chop them down or anything. We had a lot of trash issues when we were planting this year, so we're just trying to find anything we can to help reduce that trash, and these things are getting kind of worn out anyway. So we're going to be taking these off and putting those on. If you're looking for some Lankota Stompers, these aren't in the best condition, but send me a message. There's a link down in the description if you are interested in these. We got the bean head out of storage, so we got the 640 FD this year, and we have to do quite a bit of work to this. I think we're gonna basically tear it down to the bare chassis, at least on the bottom. We're gonna take all the belts off, for sure in this corner. I don't know if you guys, if there's some of you guys that are new, you don't remember this, but last year we had a really big issue in this corner of the head. We had to like take the whole thing apart in the field, but we just want to take it apart, make sure everything's tight in there, make sure everything looks good before we start the season, because when it's midnight and it's dark and you're putting the whole thing back together, you know, we don't know. It got us through the season last year, but we just want to make sure everything's good to go on this before we start this year. So there'll be a video coming out on that too here in the next couple weeks, hopefully. This thing needs a really good wash too. The storage that we have for heads and tillage and stuff, it keeps it dry during the winter, but the birds sure do love to poop on it in the summer. And then another big thing that has changed here on the farm is on the what we call the north end of the shop, and that is we put a big old cement pad in front of this door. So same story as usual. If you guys are new here, you probably haven't seen the video, but last winter I made a video on cleaning out the north end of our shop. Hopefully I can find a picture or something, and it's locked. Let me unlock it. There we go. So this end of our shop used to not be insulated or anything, and it was just storage, and it was absolutely full. Same story. You walked in, you could get to about here, and then you had to crawl over anything to get to that back corner. So last winter we cleaned all this out, made a video on that, and my brother's gonna kind of turn it into his seed area. He's planning on doing some soybean treatment and stuff, so he has all the stuff in here for doing that, and then he's gonna store his Whiffles corn in there over the winter and stuff until people need it delivered. But he made this he didn't make, but we had this nice concrete slab poured in front, so that way it's easier to load trucks, load trailers, fill seed tenders, all that stuff. And it's just nice to have another place to work on stuff if we need to as well. So come summertime and we need a nice cement pad to, I don't know, take the bean head apart. So we probably won't use it for like taking the bean head apart this fall because we're really not supposed to be on it much yet. But it would be dang nice to pull the combine right up, have the soybean head over the cement pad and be able to work on stuff like that. So even like changing oil and stuff, just having this nice, I mean, this thing's huge. I don't even know how big it is. I'm gonna do my rough guesstimate here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 36, 40 feet wide-ish. It's gotta be bigger than that. Sure looks bigger than that. 50 feet wide maybe? Then along with this, we also made a driveway that goes all the way around both our sheds. So that was actually done like a couple months ago. I just haven't, I don't know, really haven't mentioned it in the YouTube channel or YouTube video yet, but we made a driveway, goes all the way around, goes around the big shed, and just makes it a lot easier for pulling semis around and stuff. And I think we're eventually planning on putting some cement here, and the big seed bins are on the other side of the building over here. They'll be going over here, I believe is the plan. Don't really know. Seems to change every time we bring it up, but I think that's the plan, and then we can load stuff over here too. Well, there we go, guys. Thank you for watching this short little farm update video that's kind of posted randomly. I'm gonna try and get back on my scheduled postings here. I don't know if I'm gonna continue 2 a week or if it'll just be 1 a week from now on. Maybe a little bit of both. Not for sure yet, but appreciate you guys watching and supporting me in everything I do. Thank you.